Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to the Youth Only Challenge here with 1860 Munich. Today, of course, we have got all the transfer dealings we're doing to prepare ourselves for the Champions League. We will have the Champions League group stage draw in this episode when we also will recap how we start in the league. As you can see, we also in the league fixtures have got Bayern and Dortmund back-to-back as well, so it's going to be a very interesting start. And there is other big news. We're here on the 23rd of June, and it's an information about a player that we love and we all have a great amount of affection for. Jeppe Hansen Jr., unlike his dad who stayed with us for 20-odd seasons, maybe not about 16 there at SFB, he's travelled around and he's just gone from Bayern Munich to Arsenal for a whopping 69 million, and we get 40% of the profit of that deal. We sold him for 4.1 mil. We've obviously the loan back to get him homegrown, etc., etc. And he's ended up there. We get 17 mil up front. We also will get 9 mil over installments because Arsenal paying installments on Jeppe Hansen, but he has moved officially. The world-class midfielder has moved to Arsenal, and what a player he is becoming. I wish we still had him, but there is definitely going to be a time in the future where Jeppe Hansen Jr. will reunite with me. I will try and make it happen. If we haven't won this challenge in the next 5 to 8 seasons, maybe at 31, 32, when he doesn't want to get his contract renewed and Arsenal start looking to let him go. He's homegrown. His favourite coach. One day is all I can dream. It puts us a bit more money in the balance. We have players coming in, but we'll talk about these players when they do come in. There's also a 16-year-old there that's really good. And we do have a guy that's just turned 19, but the fact that he joins just after turning 19 should be becoming homegrown as well. So that's all well and good. But here we are. We have got big news. Jeppe Hansen Jr. has gone from Bayern to Arsenal for 69 mil. We get 26 mil of it. And the world-class midfielder is on the move. And it'll be interesting to see how his career ends up. And maybe one day he may end up back at 1860 Munich. Welcome back YouTube to episode 42. Here we are on the 1st of July, my favourite time. It's like Christmas Day. We have obviously some signings to talk about. And we've obviously got guys that want loans and whatever. I actually think that, talking about Jolsane quickly, he never does well on loans. So is it a question of do we loan him out again or do we sell him? I think we sell him, to be quite fair. I think the club's interested. I think we actually just list him. But, yeah, anyway, Watford make a Dino bid. That's not happening as well. Hansen's got bids. I'm actually happy to take either of them because I think that he's just not that good. There we are. And there's competitions, whatever. We're here to talk about the free signings that have been signed. Now, there's one signing that is definitely one that I have been planning for a while, and then there's 2 guys that did come up in the next-gen list that we've gone after. Christopher Schumacher is got a nickname. His name was Christopher Schumacher. We've just made it Schumacher. He is absolutely unreal. You look at him, the 18-year-old from Salzburg, and you're like, yeah. I actually tried to get him when I signed Brito when he was 16 to play right back. I'm not going to train him to play right back because I actually think him as a centre mid on attack, if you look at him there at 18 years of age, is probably our best centre mid on attack outside of Dino and Ilich and obviously Hernandez if you ever wanted to play there. I just look at Christopher Schumacher and I go, mate, you're like the first guy I bring on the change of game, vision, work rate, passing. But yeah, it's not bad. I think that Christopher Schumacher is definitely a guy. How Ali, I'll talk to you in a second about the cricket. I think Christopher Schumacher is a guy that, I put a lot of potential in. And look, I think he's absolutely incredible and definitely one to keep a watch over. We then talk about Hermon Berhane. This is AJ's man, and I couldn't believe this guy came in at 47th. We signed him in, he's worth 33 million already. This guy's a centre mid on attack. Yeah, don't get me wrong, he looks fantastic. This guy's like an advanced playmaker, dribbling, first touch, passing, technique, vision, teamwork. I think work rate's important in our system because it means that guys can press like days, natural flair. This guy looks like a baller. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Any of these guys could become our hot prospect. Yeah, Herman did. That's why I wanted to check because I think he's better than Admir. But I haven't actually had a left winger that I'm happy with outside of Kisma. Most of the time when Kisma gets injured, I have to play Itch there. I'm training James Margetts to play there. I can play Nathan Lam there if I needed to. Zeddy plays occasional minutes there. And this may look a bit crazy, but I honestly think as an inverted winger on attack, you wouldn't say no to that. The only thing he doesn't do well is cross. And if you moved him to inside forward on attack, you could definitely see a player that definitely could play there long term. I want him as the inverted winger because it gives you that little bit more of that vision. He will look to come in and play that defense splitting ball that little bit more and maybe look to dribble at people that touch more. So I am going to train him as that inverted winger on attack. And I just think every one of those stats that are highlighted there could get to 15 bar the crossing ability. I do think he's a little slow to be a winger, but he's one of those technically gifted wingers. He's one of those different type of wingers, a guy that can come inside, not the quickest, but I'll beat a man with skill. I can pick the lock with the pass. And look, anyone that's that technically switched on with the work rate and the teamwork is going to be a good footballer no matter where you play him, right? So it may look a bit crazy of Hermon Berhane, and let me know what you think, chat. I just think there is definitely the potential to play him on the left wing and he to become the inverted winger on that side, and I honestly think he could really, really, really become really good there. And then we go to Hernan. So he's 19, he just turned 19, so he will become homegrown here. That must be a glitch because he's only a month out from coming in and not becoming homegrown. Bit of a punt on him. He's turned in within a month, and we've had guys come in from Mexico and all that do become homegrown like that. I will monitor that. If he doesn't become homegrown, he will be sold. And at least he's not like, oh my God, the star man. But his birthday was a month ago, and we've signed guys that within a 2-month period of them turning 19 come in and they become homegrown. So I don't know why it's coming up that he won't become homegrown. That actually worries me. That tells me that he won't be. This is a guy I took a punt on, and the reason why I took a punt on him was he was cheap, right? It wasn't like overly cheap, but he was like 6.5 mil, 4.9 mil cheap. But secondly, and more importantly, he's got 17 finishing, 16 first touch, headering ability, off the ball, physicals, anticipation. He looks really good. Now, like I said, usually guys that turn 19 within the month of then signing are homegrown players that will become homegrown. So I don't know why he won't be, because he's going to spend a whole year of being 19, a whole year of being 20, and a whole year of being 21. So he should be homegrown. I don't know why that has not come up. Maybe it's because he's just joined. I'll wait and we'll see what comes around with him. If it does come to a stage where he's not becoming homegrown, do expect me to sell him. But I would be under the impression, considering I've signed guys at 19 years of age that have been a little bit older than him, and they have become homegrown. I don't know why the Mexican wouldn't be. But a very good squad player. Definitely got to use him this season, and I think he will be fantastic. If he doesn't say that he's going to be homegrown, do expect me to sell him on, because I don't want to really break the rules. But, we'll give him a year and see what the game says. I guess that homegrown status, he should be in here. The Mexican is Hernan. It's saying he's not becoming homegrown. Why? Well, there you go. That's the first waste of money we've made there's the first waste of money on a player that won't become homegrown. So the way I've worked it out throughout my time in this save is we've picked up a few 19-year-olds on pre-contracts that have become 19 in 4 months, and they've come in not a problem. And he's just turned 19. He's just turned 19, not even a month ago, and he's apparently not going to be homegrown. That makes no sense to me at all. He should be doing 3 years here to become homegrown. I'm going to monitor that. That is for sure. We will team register him afterwards. But 3 really good sales here, or 3 really good buys here, I should say. Christopher and Herman, definitely the big ones. And Hernan is just coming in because Admir in a year's time, I will be homegrown. We can loan him out. The Bosnian, I wanted a bigger, taller Plan B striker for Europe, and Hernan fits the bill. There is a guy that I want to speak about in this YouTube episode, and he does not want to come to me, and I hate it. Ryan. He's 16. He just turned from 15 to 16. His birthday would have been very recent. It was very recent. Just look at him. We picked him up. We saw him as a 15-year-old. He just turned 16. I look at him and go, mate, you are the best that there ever was. We could play him up front. We could play him in here. We could play him out wide. We could play him at the back. I don't know where you would play him. Honestly, I don't know where you would play him. Honestly, think he could actually be a complete forward, even though he's 6'3", 5'3", which is a little midget. But expect me to get Ryan in. I've been trying everything YouTube for him to come in. He just does not want to enter into negotiations. He wants to stay at Orlando Pirates. I get all that because you're a young age and you just joined. But, mate, I just went into the Champions League. Hurry up and say, yeah, I'm going to come before another club comes in for you, because I'll be livid if someone else picks him up. But, yeah, Ryan is definitely a guy that I'm like looking at. Where would you play Ryan if you bought him? This is the first I've ever put on a guy that's like I haven't bought yet into a YouTube episode, but he might be the best 15-year-old. He just turned 16 that I've ever seen on FM. I don't even know where I'd play him. Like, honestly, with those sort of stats, I actually think he would become the best striker in world football. And I also think he'd be the best centre attacking mid in world football. And I think he'd be the best centre mid as a Mazzala or a centre mid on attack in world football. And I honestly think with those sort of stats, as an inside forward on the left-hand side, which is probably where I would train him, as an inside forward on the left-hand side, coming in onto that right foot at 5'3", beating people at will, I think he would be the best inside forward in world football. So you guys let me know what you would do with him. I'm thinking with that vision of that work rate, maybe you wouldn't put him as an inside forward. Inside forward's just there just to kind of like get in and score. I think Graham could be really, really good. So keep an eye out for Graham. In terms of the rest of this episode, we'll obviously start with, going through what's happened in the league. But more importantly, next time you see us, will be the Champions League group stage draw. Our first draw in the group stage of the Champions League. And I have made the decision I will live com our first ever game in the Champions League because it's a historic occasion for ourselves. And we'll see you guys for that group stage draw and see how we went to start the league season. Welcome back, YouTube. We have a massive, massive signing to talk about. Not massive in terms of price, but massive in terms of how good of a player we have just got. Christopher Omholt is just one of those kids that you love to see on FM. 16 years of age, Norwegian, and he's so well-rounded, he is a joke. He ain't playing centre mid and he ain't playing left mid. He's going to come in and be your new left back. We have what we consider the Trent Alexander-Arnold regen of right backs in Danny Lovett. This guy's a complete mirror image of him at left back. And I really feel like you basically here at 86 minutes have Trent and Robertson either side. It's ridiculous. Our system's crying out for a left back that can bomb on. And I cannot wait for him to come in. And there we go. Here we are. There we are. Christopher's in. And there we go. He's in the bag. He's going to come in as a youth player. He doesn't come in next Feb. His deal doesn't start till next February because he's considered a youth player until he becomes 18 AJ. So he's going to have his 17th birthday, right, obviously, and then he turns, once he turns 17, he becomes a full first time, fully pledged player. But he's on a youth deal until obviously 17. 41 to 64 million. Get him straight away learning how to play left back because he is absolutely sensational. Fullback on attack, off you go, double intensity. He is next level. Look at him there. Register him into the team. He is your new left back, and I absolutely love him. I look at him, and I think we just signed one of the best left backs you're going to see in world football. Don't really have a good number to give him, so that's a disappointing thing, but I'll give him number 37 for now, just as a number. And there we are. But in he comes at left back. What a signing is the boy. That is Christopher. And he is your new left back. And I tell you what, he looks absolutely fantastic. Welcome back, YouTube. It is one of my favourite times in a save. It's a time when you get there and you actually get to see the draw of the Champions League group stage. Because you finally made the promised land. We are there. It is the group stage draw day. I will recap what has been one of the most amazing pre-seasons. Apart from obviously losing to an amateur side 2-1 in a game we absolutely dominated. But we played Porto, who have won the league the last 8 years in a row in Portugal, 7-1. We've beat Hertha Berlin 5-1. We've then gone to beat an amateur side in the Cup 12-0. We then thumped Cologne 4-0. And we beat Wolfsburg 2-1, but more importantly, James has 3 goals in 2 games in the league. We're scoring goals, lads. James is scoring goals. We're just next level at the minute. I don't want to say anything too much more because it is group stage day and I want to get to the Champions League group stage. But, if we keep playing like the way we are, we've been live for 6 hours nearly on stream. Links down below. Come follow us live on Twitch. We're playing until we get off. We're playing till we lose. basically, on this stream. Because I've just said we're playing unbelievable. When I mean the football is next level, we're next level. When I mean the football is everything is we're touching to turn to gold. It's turning to gold. I don't want to say league title winning form, but if we can beat Bayern and Dortmund, who are coming up in the league, once this season out of twice, I think we could do it this season, and that's a scary thought. Anyhow, lads, I love doing this sort of stuff when it comes to this. It's a Champions League group stage draw. You get some Champions League music on, don't you? You get a little bit about it. You get it in there. You get the remix. The FIFA 19 remix they did was actually pretty class for this because you get a little bit of the build-up. We've been seeded 4th for the draw in the Champions League for the first time in the youth-only challenge. 1860 Munich are in the promised land. Your first seed teams are Barcelona, Man City, Juve, Ajax, PSG, Bayern, Dortmund, Benfica. Not much has changed there. Your second seed teams are Liverpool, Inter, Arsenal, Monaco. That's Jeppe Hansen's Arsenal. Real Madrid, Dortmund, Chelsea, Milan. Your third seed teams are, of course, Real San Sebastian, Napoli, Zenit, Fenerbahce, Lille, Salzburg, Anderlecht, and AZ. And then we are the 4th seed sides, so none of these teams really matter to us. I want a group with Arsenal because I want to play Jeppe Hansen. And here we go. Your first seed teams are getting drawn out now. And your second seed teams are there as well. And let's draw out those third seed teams and see where we are. Well, there's a few groups we want and there's a few groups we don't. Benfica, Milan, and Salzburg. Group A would be perfect. We get Group A. Our backers to get through to the knockout stages. Group B, Ajax, Monaco, and Fenerbahce. Group B is another good group too. We could get out that group, I think, as well. Group C has Juve, Madrid, and Lille. It is a group we can go into because there's no German sides there. And I'll tell you what, that is a group that would be battling Lille for Europa League football. Man City have Dortmund, so we avoid Man City this year. And then Zenit, Bayern, Liverpool, and Real Sociedad make up a very tight group of Group E, but we can't get there. PSG, Arsenal, and Napoli. The dream to play Yeppies alive, but it would be the group of death for us. I don't see no way we would finish other than 4th in Group F. Group G have Barcelona, Inter, and Anderlecht. We would be battling there to get into the Europa League. And lucky last, Group H is Porto, Chelsea, and AZ. Where are Bayern Munich? Oh yeah, Group E, there they are. Never mind, away we go. If we want to get through the group, it's Group A or Group B. If we want the story, we want Group F because we get to play Yeppy, but we will be dead. We can't get Group E or Group D. Group C wouldn't be the best. Group G would be air because I think we're better than Anderlecht. We'll make Europa League. And Group H, well, it's Chelsea. It would just, yeah, I don't know. We want one of the first two, don't we? If we get Group H, my prediction is right. That is true. Jay has predicted we would get Chelsea and Porto in our first ever group back a while ago. There you are. That is possible. Here we go. Red Star in the Group A. Mainz into Group B. Group C have Sparta Prague, and we cannot get Group D or Group E. Group F is staring us in the face. A return against Jeppe Hansen, PSG and Napoli. We've waited for this moment, but it isn't our time to play Jeppe yet. We are going to get Barcelona or we're going to get Chelsea. And we find ourselves in a group with Barcelona, Inter and Anderlecht. And if you have watched the SFB save, we got Barcelona a historic 14 times in the Champions League. So there you go. Of course we get Barcelona. And there we are. Your group is going to be Barcelona, Inter Milan, Anderlecht and 1860 Munich. It is your first ever group in the Youth Only Challenge. It's a Barcelona side that were last year's champions in the Champions League, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were. We also have Inter, who are going to be, as my dogs are barking, a side that's very good. When Jim's here, the Chinese man, I nearly picked him up a long time ago. Yeah, he's pretty fantastic. As my dog is barking with the cat. Yeah, they're having a bit of a play fight. That's fine. We'll soldier on. And Anderlecht do have good regens. So, yeah, here you are. And they've still got Ramon Enriquez there, who's pretty good as well. Anyway, guys, that is it for this episode. Next episode, we'll sim forward a day. Milky, huh? No. I have to get angry on a YouTube episode. I will. Hand a tough group, so be it. It's a tough group. Our next episode is going to be a live comm against Barcelona. Of course it is. Barca, away from home, at the new camp. yeah, it is going to be a Champions League live com next episode. I'll see you there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Links down below. Go like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and just maybe, we may be doing that tonight because we're yet to lose a game in this stream. And I tell you what, well, a game that matters. And I tell you what, we're not getting off until we lose. And I might just see you for Barcelona in the Champions League.